Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Let's see if I can get a little of this sunlight off of me. My name is Marvin LeBlanc, and yes, I am actually in a car at the time of this recording. However, I am in park, and I also have a passenger with me. Bo, go ahead and say hello, Bo. Where is that buddy? Oh, there's Bo. He's relaxing. Bo had a really big day today. He was manning the office and providing great security. He also was providing great love because as soon as a customer comes in and gives him attention, he's off to the races. So as long as he's getting attention, everything is fantastic. I'm going to wave to some people that are coming in. Today's topic, part one of a 4-part series, is the 4 ways to keep your home in your family. Now, while we're talking about how do we keep our home in our family, it's because I'm seeing more and more. I've only been doing this for 32 years, but what I often see is people still need to patiently be taught what is covered by various policies. So, for instance, today in part one of a 4-part series, today we're going to briefly cover the very basics of the number one most important way to keep your home in your family is with the purchase of homeowners insurance. Well, most of you that are watching, you understand that you needed to have homeowners insurance. Most of you that purchased a home, you couldn't actually even go to the act of sale of that home unless, in fact, you had purchased that homeowners insurance. And so what does homeowners insurance cover, and what does it include? Hey, Donna, so glad that you're here today. Davin is here. So glad to see you guys watching. Go ahead and please reshare this message because it's going to serve as a good refresher. You see, when we buy homeowners insurance, you're not going to have 100% coverage without also participating with a deductible. Now, early on in my career, which was started in like the mid-'80s, there actually were deductibles as low as $250, y'all. Matter of fact, $100 deductible on a homeowner, $250, and then $1,000 deductible. But then again, that was also 33 years ago. And so it would be hard pressed to actually find a homeowner's company that would actually sell you a policy with that low of a deductible. Hey, Clayton, good for you to see you here. My dad's here. Very good. Dad, welcome. Can't wait to spend some time with you on the golf course on Saturday morning. It's going to be glorious. Also, I'm going to sidebar and say today, my 83-year-old on a championship golf course shot an 87. Now, I want you to think about that. An 83-year-old shooting an 87. There's some 27-year-olds watching on this broadcast right now that would struggle to shoot an 87 in golf. So I'm so proud of him. He might not hit it long, but he hits it awfully straight, and he's got a real mean putter. So back to homeowners coverage. The main reason why we buy that homeowner's policy, not just because the mortgage company requires it, it's because without that homeowner's policy in force, if you were to tragically lose the entire home at one time, which, courtesy of Katrina, hundreds of my customers lost their home, including myself. If you were to lose your home most people do not have the financial wherewithal to actually come out of pocket for $150,000 or $200,000 loss on a home and say, okay, no problem. I lost that. I didn't have insurance coverage, and I'm fine, and I'm good to go. So the reason why we purchase homeowners insurance is because an insurance company spreads that risk out by selling thousands upon thousands of homeowners policies, and actuarially, we know that we, God forbid, are not going to lose 100% of those homes that we insure on a daily basis. So if I was to ask you, well, when you think about homeowners, what's the main thing that you think it covers? And if you're like most people, the main thing that it covers is wind damage. Another thing, however, much more frequently than wind damage on a homeowner's claim is hail damage. At one particular time early in my career, I remembered that at our regional office in Monroe, Louisiana, there was a 22-minute hailstorm directly on the top of our home office. And in 22 minutes, they incurred $22 million of damage, of hail damage, in only 22 minutes. So hail damage can definitely be serious. Also, I think it was July 9th of 1982. A Boeing plane crashed here in Kenner, and at the International Louis Armstrong International Airport, and it wiped out all of the passengers. Like 148 passengers died, and about 8 or 9 people on the ground died. Well, those homes that were suddenly impacted by literally an airplane crashing on them, those homes have homeowners insurance that covers for aircraft damage. So in that particular case, that coverage was activated. Thank God we don't see that type of thing that often. Hey, Frank, welcome to the broadcast. Terilyn, welcome to the broadcast. Take care of that brother of yours. And tell your mama that I'm ready for her shrimp stew in the next couple of weeks. I'll even pay for it, but I got the French people call it an envie, which envie is craving. I probably was 18 years old before I knew the word craving, but I knew envie probably at 6 or 7 years old. So we have, let's go back to our homeowners. We have wind damage, we have hail damage, we have aircraft damage. We also have what's called riot or civil commotion. So if your home was a victim of riot or civil commotion, hey Luis, hello Gina, welcome to the broadcast. If your home was a victim of riot or civil commotion, then coverage would be activated. Another all too frequent coverage that's being used on homeowners insurance has to do with vandalism. So that's why police protection and those sorts of things, neighborhood watch program is an unbelievable program that's nationwide that really assists in the area of vandalism. So you have wind damage, hail damage, aircraft, or riot, civil commotion, or vandalism. Those are the primary coverages. Keep in mind that a challenge that I'm seeing a lot is that on one hand we have, hello Diana, she's one of my mentors, a great agent up in the Midwest. She's on the broadcast. Another thing that we see a great deal of, especially in South Louisiana, don't ever have a roofing company tell you that a 30-year roof is going to last 30 years. It's just not so, guys. Okay, we live in a state that basically it rains every day in summer and a hell of a lot in the other months. So with the rain and the humidity, your roof is going to curl and damage. And so as a result, you as a policyholder has a fiduciary responsibility to maintain and do proper upkeep of your roof. As a matter of fact, my childhood home, which originally had a roof on it, my dad was getting up in age and he had the right money for it, and he was fed up with roofing charges. So what he did was he put a tin roof on top of that roofing that was already up there, and basically secured a mostly permanent roof. So the buyers of my childhood home don't have to worry about that sort of thing moving forward. My cousin from all the way in Aurora, Colorado, the Denver area, is on, and it's always a great pleasure to see family, especially in the Midwest. And while we were there, I also had some great bison pork roast or bison pot roast, and it was excellent. So this is part 1 in a series of 4. Now, what I want to mostly emphasize to you is when you talk about the care of your teeth, you don't just brush one tooth a day. You brush all of your teeth every day. And you need to go to the dentist at least once a year, probably twice a year, for prevention. So too do you need to see and review your coverages with an insurance professional. And I'm not talking about the actual selling of the insurance. I'm talking about being educated on what does the policy cover. Now, I want you to understand something. I'm an individual that loves the education part, but there is a challenge. Whenever you need to hear what coverage you have, you need to be disciplined enough to listen. I often find that people say, well, Marvin, I know you know the right thing for me. I know, I trust you. Well, okay, great. I love all that. But in South Louisiana, over a crawfish ball on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday, after maybe a couple adult beverages, your brother-in-law might tell you, oh yeah, it covers that. He doesn't know what the hell it covers. And so we start hearing a diluted message about what should and should not be covered. We also are victimized by hearing about a bad claim experience, or my house is the same size as the house next door, so I should be paying exactly the same premium as the guy next door. Man, there's so many other variables there, folks. It would boggle your mind to actually see all of the various factors. I'm thinking right now, I'm looking at the homeowner's quote in my mind's eye right now. There's about 32 different variables that have to be included on a homeowner's quote. So what's my point? My point is to strongly encourage you not just to go to your dentist every once or twice a year, but you need to see your insurance professional not twice a year, but probably once a year, or when there is a change going on in your household. Well, like what? Well, you might have done a remodeling job, on your house. Maybe you put in a new patio. Maybe you got rid of the Formica and you're going to Corian. That would be an important thing to tell us, because we don't want to ever overcharge or undercharge. We don't want you to have more coverage than you need. We certainly don't want you to have less coverage than you need. So the only way we're going to know that, until I improve my mental telepathy prowess, okay, is that you have to communicate with us. So I'm strongly encouraging you, whatever city you're in, if it's not me, that's totally fine. Go to who you trust. If you have someone that you don't know, or that you can't trust, or that you can't ever see, and you have questions, then reach out to me. For whatever reason it is, I will direct you in whatever way possible, even if we never transact business. That's not what it's about. Okay, I'm going to take another little break and say that the great Teresa LeBlanc, my first cousin, is on. And the most important thing about her, other than the fact that she's a loving individual and has put up with my agitation over many years, is she makes, y'all, the meanest Mississippi mud. And she knew good and well I was going to say something about her Mississippi mud. Now, it is true that I'm a type 2 diabetic, and so as a result of that, I'm supposed to be, and she's fixed my Mississippi mud with like Splenda or Sweet and Low. But y'all, man, on one or two occasions when you're eating Mississippi mud as a dessert, man, you got to go with the sugar. Okay. Also, like, I drink the 2% milk, but my goodness, y'all, this morning I had me some pancakes at this TikTok little breakfast place, hole in the wall close to my office. Man, and I went, and I was a real man, y'all. I ordered a large ice cold glass of whole milk. Oh my goodness. You talk about good, Shy. Man, that was so good. So no, I can't have whole milk every day. I certainly don't eat Mississippi mud every day, but every now and then you got to do something a little different. The great Tom Davis is on right now. Tom Davis is a colleague of mine from Oxford, Mississippi. He's also a professional photographer, and he should actually be in the midst of writing a book about his personal experiences with all his blues musicians that he takes pictures of, and rock and roll stars. He was actually the financial planner for B.B. King before he passed away. And the most important thing and lesson that you can learn from Tom Davis is, I was a young little brand new State Farm agent, and he reached out to me. Did y'all hear that? He reached out to me and invited me to a study group. And that was in, I want to say, 1989. And reaching out into that study, him reaching out to me to go to and attend that study group, allowed me to open my mind to how important it is to get with colleagues and share with colleagues and stay committed to continuous learning. So I want to reach out and personally thank you publicly, Tom Davis, because I cannot even remotely imagine the level that I would be at in my education or my personal development without an influence such as yourself. Tom Davis, Oxford, Mississippi. Yep, he's an Ole Miss Rebels. I'm going to give him a little pass on that. Whenever LSU's not playing Ole Miss, I'm sure he pulls for LSU. So that was my message today. If you're just coming on right now, don't sweat the small stuff. You can do the replay and go back and listen to this. If you have friends, neighbors, coworkers, or relatives that are either confused about their homeowner's insurance, or they just don't have anybody that will slow down long enough and patiently explain to them what homeowners insurance coverage actually covers, then reshare this with them and have them reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help them in whatever way I can. So this is Marvin LeBlanc. I am an agent that serves all of Louisiana. This is part one of a 4-part series talking about the 4 ways that you can lose your home. And the number one way that you can lose your home is not having any homeowner's insurance or not having enough. So that's today's message. Stay tuned, because you'll be seeing maybe tomorrow or the next day part 2 of 4. Do not be confused. There are 4 ways you can lose your home, not just homeowners. So this is Marvin LeBlanc. As always, when I sign off from South Louisiana, I want to tell you peace, love, and always have a bowl of gumbo. Bye-bye, y'all. Take care, Tori. Take care, Kurt Dreyer. Kurt Dreyer, he's in retirement, y'all. Can y'all believe that? He can listen to me anytime, man. He's got the whole life. But he's a good man, and he did pay his dues. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye.